Hello friends, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Well, we have just taken care of the Fire Temple, so now we can make our way to the next temple in the game, the ever-dreaded Water Temple. And this is going to be interesting, because I don't have my usual quality of life improvements to help me get through that temple pretty quick, so we'll see what happens. But first, few things I can take care of, especially this. So get the Ocarina out, play the song, and now we will get double magic, which is very nice. Certainly haven't had to use a lot of magic this playthrough. Like, I know that once I get access to fire arrows and light arrows, I'll be using magic a lot more, but I haven't really had to use Din's Fire or Faroe's Wind a whole lot. There we go. That is one thing I'm glad about Majora's Mask. It certainly felt like you used magic a lot more. Like, they even had a bottle drop in the game that was you had infinite magic for 3 days. And it wasn't easy to come by either, like not until halfway through the game. So you had to make do with either a small magic meter or the extended magic meter whenever you got it. There we go, double magic. Alright, so a few small things we can take care of in Goron City. That heart piece I will get eventually. I do need to come back here as a child to plant a magic bean. So we will get it eventually. But then we go into here. And there we go. All the Gorons have made it home safely. I didn't leave a single one behind in the temple. I'll just make our way up here because there is a heart piece that I need to get. So, funny how that boulder stayed there all those years. Okay. Now, does anyone remember my description about the crouch stab ability? So here's the extended lesson for it. As you can see, I am crouching, I'm about to take out my sword, and I'm going to break this boulder. And not only that, I will break this boulder that can only normally be broken with the Megaton Hammer. So, someone might be wondering, well, what the heck's going on here? Like, you're breaking boulders with the Bigoron sword. Like, a sword shouldn't be able to do that. So here's how the extra part of the crouch stab works. Oh, that's a huge rupee? I thought that was a hard piece. Whoops. But anyways, it does give me a chance to do this description here. So, when you do a swing of a weapon, like with your sword, not only does it take the damage value, it also takes any properties that are associated with the weapon that you swing. So, like if I was to swing the Master Sword, not only is that a swing of the Master Sword, that's also the properties of the Master Sword. Remember that, because I'll probably go into one last description later on in the game in regards to that. So in this case, I swing the Megaton Hammer, I also take the Megaton Hammer's properties. In that case, it's the ability to break boulders. So if you swing your hammer, and then do a crouch stab immediately afterwards, that's quite the white screen there, you will have a sword that can also have the Megaton Hammer's properties of breaking boulders. Which also makes for a very quick way to take care of the boulders. Okay, I think that was the only one that I forgot. So now we can make our way there. Yes, we have already taken care of the ice cavern. And I mean, we did that as the first thing since when I turned into an adult. So because of that, I have already been to the ice cavern, got the iron boots, and I had freed King Zora. So now we have Zora Tunic, ready to go to breathe underwater. And we have the iron boots. Now get ready, there's going to be a lot of pausing. Definitely one of the things that people who have played this game do not look forward to. Here we just have to come down here, use one of the only things we can use while underwater, and that is the hook shot. And here we are in the water temple. So we will be constantly taking off and putting on our iron boots in order to get through this dungeon. Definitely something that I am glad the 3D remake of Ocarina kind of fixed. Now, thankfully, I do know my way around this dungeon fairly well. Speaking of someone who also knows their way around the dungeon, it's Ruto! Oh, you, if I'm right. Link? You're Link, aren't you? It's me, your fiancé, Ruto, Princess of the Zoras. I never forgot the vows we made to each other 7 years ago. You're a terrible man to have kept me waiting for these 7 long years. But now is not the time to talk about love. I'm sure you've already seen it. Zora's domain, totally frozen. A young man named Sheik saved me from under the ice. But my father and the other Zoras have not yet. I want to save them all. I want to save Zora's domain. You have to help me. This is a request from me, the woman who is going to be your wife. Link, you have to help me destroy the evil monster in the temple, okay? Inside the water temple, there are 3 places where you can change the water level. I'll lead the way. Follow me, quickly. And then we will never see Ruto for the rest of the temple. So yeah, definitely what Sheik said, young love turning into ambition, or what was that? I actually forget what Sheik said now. Not on purpose, mind you. But just a love that grows over 7 years. Well, apparently Ruto had that in spades. Going from, who the heck are you, get out of here now, to, I am now the woman who is going to be your wife. So the gimmick with the temple is we have to play Zelda's Lullaby at these specific points to raise or lower the water level. Sadly, each point can only take it to one particular level of water. So that switch there will always... Hey, you weren't supposed to spit back out. My goodness. Take that. So yeah, that switch that I played for there will only put the water level down to its lowest. Then I have to make another roundabout trip to put it to mid-level. And then there will be one last switch to take it to its highest level. And we can only get to the boss of the temple if we can get the water level to stay at its highest. So we are going to be doing as much as we can. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now, I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to try it regardless. Nope, there is no ground that works. Okay, I want arrows. Don't have fire arrows right now, it's kind of sad. Definitely wish I had them. So that little trick I did there, now that I remember what I was supposed to do, there's a little, I will say like a bit of a glitch that you can do if you are next to a treasure chest. So let's pretend that everything is currently underwater, and the only thing I can use is my hook shot, and I am now like under with my iron boots. You can't actually open chests when you're underwater. But if you do something like this, and if you were to do it quick enough, you can actually open a chest underwater. And that's a trick I've used multiple times to great effect here in the water temple. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just slowly make my way around each of the sections here. Okay, if I remember right, I have the map. So this takes me... Yeah, that'll take me to the boss key. I have to come back here at that eventually. I need the long shot for that one. So now we'll do the other parts here. Now, definitely something that is often talked about with the water temple is how easy it is to get lost in the water temple. And it's funny how I can see where people are coming from, and yet it's something that seems so simple in my mind, where it's like, okay, you've figured out the first part of the puzzle, you've lowered the water level, so why don't you just explore every section that's here, and then you figure out, okay, you do like the next part, like raising the water level to the middle. It's like just taking everything one step at a time in order. It's like, oh, I've done this. Oh, I haven't done this yet. Let's do this. Like, I can see how that can confuse people, but I can also see it's like, how can you get confused by that? Like, all I'm going to do, and like, yes, this is very simple, is I'm just going to go room by room and get all of the things that are within, and then leave and just go around the section. Is that gonna... Yeah. Oh, good. What the heck? Don't know what happened there. You just go section by section and get everything you can and move on. Okay, so there's key number 2. So now we'll just leave and then come back. We won't have to come back to this particular section for anything. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's going to be a few graphical errors here. But yeah, just one step at a time. Yeah, there's going to be a heck of a lot of pausing here. I don't like it. Take that. I bet that enemy was like, what did I do to you? It's like, you were just there. For anyone who wants a fun game to play whilst I'm going through this, how many times will I pause or unpause to, like, either equip or take off the boots? Get back to me with a final number once you've got it. I always hated this one, because this is one of the few cases where you get fooled by this. Good thing the enemies here can't climb this platform. And I'm curious, what are your names again? You're just spikes. This enemy, what's it going to be called? It's just called Spike. Okay, I need regular bombs for this one. And there we go again. Please do not mind the screen there. It just... No. Backflips! Okay, now I think I have to stay low on this one. No, I don't. This is one way to get past things. Okay, this is the... Yes, this is the long haul that lets you get Skulltula. Still need all of them. And that does mean I am going to be exploring all spots. Haha, Bigeron sword is the best. Camera is not, though. Now for that one there, if you do not have a long sword, you can use a spin attack. There we go. That is token 64. Good, that works. Alright. Now there we go. That's everything that I can do on the lower section. And you would eventually learn that you wouldn't be able to do anything in that northern room. So now that's everything that you need to deal with at the moment. Now it does get a bit confusing because that one little room that I broke there, you can only reach when the tide's in the middle. And it is very easy to forget that that key is a thing. Like, talk to any player of Ocarina and they'll tell you that in the water temple, there was always one key that they forgot. That one, oh, actually, I want to see something here. I think this is another little gimmick. Hang on. Yes, I did remember this. So another small property of the Goron tunic. You can walk on spikes and you will not take damage for a long time. Any other tunic? Yep, you're taking damage quite often. But that was another thing I remembered. I did want to show that off at one point. So, yes. Any player of Ocarina, like, there will be that one key you miss. It was either that one that's going to be in the middle section that I will get here, or I better get because I'm going to need that key, or it's this one. And the only reason I would say that is because this is a creative use of taking like a way down to a basement floor, because that platform lifts, but you have to be eagle-eyed enough to notice that that makes a little path. Ooh, I need that. Still need the iron boots for this. So I think I do have to stay underwater for this one. Yes, this is the little enemy gauntlet. So we have to use our hook shot here to take care of all of the enemies that are incoming. So you can see there's a number of spikes. Thanks for going into hiding mode right off the bat. I really appreciate that. And that opens the way up here, and that gets me another small key. But yeah, let me know, were any of these keys the ones that would always trip you up? I am curious, because I've heard many stories, but it's not like I've ever heard a what's the definitive key that everyone forgets in the water temple. Oops, that would explain it. I'm on the gate. Now, I will say, though, that the concept of being able to walk underwater is really cool. They just made it so cumbersome that everyone remembers all of the pausing, and that's what makes people hate it. There we go. So now we have to leave this. Okay, so that would take me to the wall. That looks like north side. That would be where the block was, so I want... Okay, I'm going to want this one, because I think this is where I can get the compass. Yes. Also, it's much easier. So if you come through this pathway when the water's raised, there will be enemies. The, like, floating mantas, or however you want to call them. I actually do forget their names. But if you come this way with no water, no enemies. And now I've got the compass. I did not forget, because I actually do forget the compass when I do play this regularly. Like, I totally forget to come to this section of the dungeon. Ouch. So now I will take the iron boots. And we will go back this way. Now, had I been smart enough or tricky enough, I would have remembered that this is something you can do with the water being at full height. But as you can tell by that bomb chew I launched, that opened up this little bomb wall here. And you'd be able to notice it if you were coming down or going up with Ruto. So that is something you'd be like, oh, I've got to make a little mental note of that. But it is one that does oft get forgotten. Alright, so now take those, and we are going to make our way up to over here. We do have to open our way through some of the small keys. And we will make our way to the highest portion, but I am just going to wait. The one thing that does freak people out every once in a while, that blue Tektite that just decides, I'm going to jump on top of you and knock you off the water pillar. But after taking the Waterway Express, we are now back onto the top section. And with the Ocarina, we will raise the water level to max. Gotcha. There we go. So now if we could make our way over here with the long shot, but that's something we still have to earn. By earning that, we have to go this way. Okay. And also there is a gold Skulltula there that I will need to remember to come back with the long shot. Now for one of the more annoying puzzles in the game. Or not so much puzzles, but platforming experience. This is why I really wish I have long shots coming into the water temple in randomizers, because it makes this part so much more easy. But there we go. With every key, we will make it to here. So now we have to do a platforming puzzle of raising and lowering the water levels to get to these switches. Make it a little easier for me. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So I have to do that. Oh, no! Darn it. Oh, I gotta go. I gotta iron boots to go down so that I can use the hook shot. That's another thing I didn't like too, is that it does take time for the hook shot to actually register as a usable item. I don't know if it's something with like Link's animation that just has to be like in the right spot. There. That works. Alright, let's do this right. Just don't want to have any enemies bothering me. So we'll do that. We'll hop over here. That's how bad my accuracy is. It's just like getting myself over. It takes more shots than it's worth. Plus this bit here where it's like you have to raise it to get over, and then you have to lower it to get on the platform, and then you have to raise it again in order to get up. I'll take that, though. And then that's one way to get over if you don't like the like. And then we have this room. Now, for anyone who's eagle-eyed, I want you to pay attention there. You see the shadow that is underneath Link. When I pass this island, there is suddenly no more shadow. We then look around, and there's Dark Link. Now, how this boss works, which is really cool, is the health of Dark Link is equal to the number of heart containers you have. You also will deal damage equivalent to whatever the damage is. So right there, I just did 2 hearts, now 4 hearts. That's 6. That's 8. That's 10. There we go. That's 12. And that's 14. Now, Dark Link is a somewhat difficult mini-boss, but there are plenty of tricks that can work. As you can see, just by swinging the Bigoron sword, I was able to work my way through because I was technically not mirroring Dark Link's attacks. You can use the Megaton Hammer for slightly different effect. One that often works for me is if you throw Deku Nuts directly at Dark Link, he will cover up and not get blinded. But if you throw them away, by the time Dark Link is no longer invulnerable to the Deku Nut, it will be enough flash passing by to stun Dark Link, and you can inflict damage that way. Or Din's Fire, that's another one I used to use all the time. But speaking of various tools, it is now time for one of the coolest tools in the entire game. I present the Long Shot. I love this item. So now, we'll make our way through the second half of this temple. Now, admittedly, I do wish they made that a little bit more noticeable, because I will bet there are people that got into this room, got the long shot, and then didn't know what to do. So, because I have done this well enough, I do know how to get through this pretty quick without excessive Iron Boot usage. Oh yeah, I should have equipped the long shot as well. I used to do this super carefully, and it's like I only ever had the Iron Boots equipped. I never took them off. It was always a pain trying to get through all of the vortexes here. Like, it was just a nightmare unto itself. But thankfully, I know tricks to swimming and getting past a lot of the tougher areas. So I don't have to worry about it as much. This one still gives me a little difficulty every once in a while. So if I just did that... There we go. Now if I did this right... There we go. So we're up and at 'em. Take the boots off. Not forgetting anything, right? No, those are just the jars. So now we have to hit this switch and then quickly long shot over. Gotcha. And there's another small key. So now we're back in this room by technicality, but it doesn't bother us in the slightest. Now, I do have to, at one point, lower the water level again in order to make my way through one particular section to get a Gold Skulltula. But that does give me the opportunity to do a few other small things before I do eventually make my way to the last explorable portion of this dungeon. So I will... Yes, I'm going to have to eventually get it raised and lowered. Just trying to think. Yeah, I can make do with something this way, right? Hold on. Yeah. Let me make sure of this. Okay, good. This will be a bit of a time save, I think. So there, I've got the first part of that set, which is good. So I will have to loop my way around. Now using the long shot. And I will be able to get the small key that is behind that. Now I do have to... I think that's... No, that's not the right way. It's a different spot that I have to go to. I'm trying to now I'm actually trying to remember half this dungeon. Oh boy. Okay. Well, we're gonna go make our way... Oh, actually, I should make my way over here first. Because there is that gold skulltula that I can get. And you will not bother me. Alright. Execute token 66. Okay. Now I do have to make the water level the lowest. So I do have to go do that one more time. And then as I make the water level at its midpoint, I can get another gold skulltula. Oops, I still have to go lower. What am I doing? So now we go here. And up we go. At the very least, I know this temple is nearly finished. We've already done the tough half. And exploration's not that much of a problem if you know where you're going. Tedious at points, yes. But it's not the end of the world. So now we do that. Yeah, and the nice part is we can still go to this subsection that I will eventually get to for the other part of the dungeon. We can do that even while the water level is at its highest. Does not bother in the slightest. So I didn't pay much attention to it earlier, but there is a gold skulltula hiding right up here. Definitely one of the ones I overlooked a lot. But we got that one taken care of. Now, if I do remember right, wasn't you? That's the one. But yes, it will have to be something I summon after. That's the way I want it to go. Aha! I can break physics. But it is a good thing that I did that first block push. I'll just set it so that it remembers. And now we have the final small key of the water temple. you are. So that takes us back to top floor, so I'm gonna have to go over here for a moment. Oh. Grabs. So for anyone who has explored well enough, there is actually a scarecrow point. Problem is, I might not be able to get it here. So I have to say, come on. Yeah, it's up there. I hope that's not a case of something that gets you have to summon from like up there, because that's just annoying. Well, okay, fine. Scarecrow didn't want to be called. I understand. I guess the scarecrows are busy right now. I'll just do this the old-fashioned way. Does give me another chance to practice that. There we are. Okay, so now I've got the water level raised all the way up to maximum. So that does let me get to the boss door, but I do not have the boss key. That is where that last section of exploration will come into play. So now I just have to go all the way over here, quickly pop on the iron boots. Slowly descend our way down. Even the spikes wanted to come say hello. And now we just go all the way down here. So as you can see, we would need the extra length of the long shot in order to make our way over. So there's the first key. Now we have to dodge a bunch of boulders and try to get to that room over there. You do not know just how much I really wish I had the hover boots right now. Because if I had the hover boots, there is a little trick you can do to skip all of this. So now we're through and we're into this room. Now, I can remember this room giving me a lot of trouble when I was a kid, because for some strange reason, I could never tell that there was a bomb wall here. So I want to actually try something here that I used to do so that I could solve this puzzle. I might not be able to make it, thanks to my manta friend here. But what I did was, I would float up and quickly grab that ledge. Not sure how well this will work, because I am currently being harassed by the enemies. I'm gonna take care of you now. No one likes that enemy music. So the water level will go all the way up there. I'm gonna make sure that it stays there. So I'm just trying this for the fun of it, and it's kind of nostalgic for me. Oh, I was about to. I saw it. Yeah, there we go. So, maybe that's why I didn't see the concept of the puzzle, was because I never noticed the wall crack on the one side, and I never noticed the color differentiation on this side. Now, as you saw what I did with my sword there, something you can actually do in-game to discover wall sources and whatnot that are bombable, hit them with your sword and they will make a different sound. So with this block here, we can have the block sit on the switch, which will keep it pressed. It does take a little bit of time, though. But now we can make our way over here as is intended. Alright, this one... Ah, triple shot. At least, if they're on the ground, I can make it over. Or, no, I'm thinking about jumping the puzzle. No, at least if those Tektites are on the ground, I can just keep my cursor in place and take care of them that way. So now we've made it to this little section over here. We do have another Gold Skulltula, the last one, I'm fairly certain. Token 68. But we do have to make our way down the little waterway here. And we have one last little secret path to make our way over. And because the game has not been much of a jerk already, this is where the last small key has to get used. And all this room has is the boss key. Now, if I did want to have something set up for time save, Varroe's Wind would have been a great item to use here. However, I am keeping that set for the Ice Cavern as a quick way back to Zora's Fountain for 1 Gold Skulltula later. So, because I'm doing that, I have to use this as my way back. But it's not the worst, because it's literally just down the walkway and I'm back into this part of the room. If I can aim the long shot. Jeez, I have definitely had to put on the boots quite a bit. Also, hello. Glad to see you could join me. Sadly, I must leave. So now we just have to wait until we surface, and then we can make our way to the boss. And now that I think about that, final check on the map. Key, compass, map, and Skulltula token. And that's everything that's there otherwise. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a red mark on the temple. All right. Water Temple is just about over. So we just have to make our way up this first, which it's literally just go on the left or the right and just run up. And we're in. That isn't normal water over there. Which is funny, because until you actually, like, do the summon here for Morpha, you can swim in this, just like normal water. Now, it would be cool if there was, like, a chance to, like, swim around and possibly catch Morpha's core. Like, the whole point would be, maybe that could even start the boss fight. But it would be cool is if that could be a way to, like, start the, like, boss animation for Morpha's core. So, for this boss, there is actually a quick technique that you can do. I just have to hope I do this right. Gotcha. So we just have to keep Morpha in the corner, and then start swinging. And quicker than you can say Bob's your uncle, Morpha is defeated. It's very anticlimactic when you know what to do. But that is one of the tougher bosses in the game taken care of. Geez, now that I think about it, if it was that quick, Bongo Bongo is going to be real fun. It is because of the big Goron sword, for sure. But that trick there, like, even if I just had Master Sword, it still would have gone very quick. And there we go. Another heart container is mine. And I might as well go ahead and just say that is going to be a water medallion. Here we are back in the Chamber of Sages. And no surprise, we are going to see Ruto. Link. I would have expected no less from the man I chose to be my husband. Sora's domain and its people will eventually return to their original state. Sadly, not in the lifetime that we'll have with this game. As a reward, I grant my eternal love to you. Well, that's what I want to say, but I don't think I can offer that now. I have to guard the water temple as the Sage of Water. And you're searching for the princess, Zelda? Ha, you can't hide anything from me. Princess Zelda, she's alive. I can sense it, so don't be discouraged. I can tell that nothing will stop you in your quest for justice and peace. You must take this medallion. Take it respectfully. And water medallion is mine. That is 4 of the 6. So we only have the spirit medallion and the shadow medallion left. If you see Sheik, please give him my thanks, okay? And don't worry, I'll make sure my descendants in the future will definitely want to love you again. I think one of them was named Mifa. But now having vanquished Morpha, the lake will now fill back up. As the water rises, the evil is vanishing from the lake. Link, you did it! Did Ruto want to thank me? I see. We have to return peace to Hyrule for her sake too, don't we? Look at that, Link. Together, you and Princess Ruto destroyed the evil monster. Once again, the lake is filled with pure water. All is as it was here. One thing I always did find cool about this scene is, like, Link will walk in front of Sheik, and then Sheik will just, like, okay, this is my perfect opportunity to get away, and that's when it's just like, I'll back up slowly, and then you can see Sheik up in the trees there, and then jump! Must have ran out of Deku Nuts for that one. Alright, perfect time of day. One thing I can do right off the bat. Shoot the sun. And thus, the first of the 3 elemental arrows is now available. Now, of course, I could have actually left the water temple after obtaining the long shot and come and done this as well. It is something that you can definitely do once, like, even if Lake Hylia has not been saved. There we go. Fire arrows are now mine. Now, I know the sun did just rise, but I do want it to turn to night, because I am going to get something up here. I can just aim it in the right spot. And this is something you definitely want to aim in the right spot for, because this tree is very finicky. This was definitely one of the last Skulltulas that I got. It wasn't the last. That honor goes to the one in Zora's Fountain. But this was one of the last ones. And that's why I did not use the long shot as the thing that killed the Skulltula. But now we've got token 69. Alright. Now that we've got Lake Hylia back to normal here, I guess I can do the next thing that's kind of on my 100% shopping list. Come over here and we'll do adult fishing. Now, one of the cool extras you can do in this game is try to capture the Hylian Loach. Now, that's not part of 100%. Like, there's nothing that you get for making the capture. But it's something I do want to do. But first things first, we are going to do regular fishing. And the guy's like, hey, I remember you. How many years has it been? 7? You've been doing all this time. You should have been coming here and fishing. Only fishing. Only fishing. So we'll just get in here. Do the usual explanation. So yes, now we have to catch another record setter, which thankfully we can just use the same fish. So as long as my usual target is sitting comfortably there, I can make the toss. Now hopefully this works well. Yeah, you're no longer looking. Yeah, definitely something I've missed from randomizers. They did make fishing a lot easier. So this is going to take me a little bit of time here, but one of the... Nice! You went for it right away. This is going to take a hot minute. So, I did have to look up kind of ahead of time to, like, understand what I would have to do to capture the Hylian Loach. And that is... It's simple, actually. It just keeps track of the number of times you've come into the fishing pond and paid to fish. As long as you do that, I think 3 or 4 times consecutively, the Loach will spawn. Now, I do remember that there is a thing you can do in the fishing pond here, which is acquiring a sinking lure. And that would allow you to catch anything on the lower parts of the water, which can typically be the Hylian Loach. I want to try to capture the Loach without getting the sinking lure. Because the guy at the desk there, he'll throw a bit of a fit if you decide to use the sinking lure, because that is basically like a cheat mode for fishing. So I want to see if I can do it. I don't think I've attempted to capture a Hylian Loach in this game in a long time. Maybe I think I only ever did it once. Now, as you can see, this is taking a long time. Like, I'm definitely making progress, but it is not quick. As long as I can get the fish away from the deeper waters, I think I can make some progress. Now, I think this is actually hurting my hand. Future me, put a timer on screen to see just how long this takes. Come on, my fishy friend. You want to get captured. There we go. We're in camera zoom. There we go. Look at that giant fish. That's a real lunker. That weighs 20 pounds. Yes, I definitely want to keep that one. So now let's roll on over here and we'll just say, weigh the fish, please. That's a winner. And we get a reward, the golden scale, which is basically useless because we can just use the iron boots and there's not really much more swimming after that. So I'm going to quit. Now, time to see this. Let's figure out if I can find a loach. So, yeah. So that's the third time I've come in here and successfully paid and started fishing. Now, I don't actually have to catch any fish this time, but I am going to take a little cheat trick here. And I'm going to go under the water. No, those are just regular fish. That is not a loach. So I think it is on the 4th attempt. I think it is every 4. Now that is one trick you can do to see under the water. So now we'll go for this attempt here. Alright, so now we'll try again. Now this could take me ages. Like, all things considered, that water temple took me a long time. I might actually, like, start the next episode with a capture of the loach. Which I want to say... maybe it's more over here? Like, I will say, the loach is distinct. Like, it's definitely different than these other fish. That it? That might be it, actually. I'm gonna check. Nope, that looks like just a standard fish. Well, it certainly seems like we're in... oh! That's it! Nope, that's just regular fish. Darn it. But this is one thing I really do like about the fishing pond in general. Oh, that's it! This might take me a hot minute. But that is one thing I do like about the fishing pond, is that there are gimmicks to the things that occur in the fishing pond. Is that, or was that it? Maybe I got confused. Maybe I did get confused. Hang on, I'm still wearing the boots. That is the loach. Yeah, there we are. I do have the loach in here now. Come on, my loachy friend. It's like perfect opportunity to catch it. I don't think Navi was able to get the Loach on target. But I know I can look at it. So this is the thing with the Loach, is that it does hang out underneath the water here. And it will not surface for a long time. So, actually, what I'm going to do then, because this will take forever, I will start the next episode with the capture of the Loach. Because this will take me a long time, and I want to make sure that like I can at least capture the moment when I do successfully get the Loach. So, that's going to call it for this episode here. I know that we definitely did do a lot of swimming today. It was the water episode, water temple, fishing, all that fun stuff. But hey, we got through the water temple successfully. And as far as I'm concerned, that's all I needed for this episode. So next episode, we'll get the Loach caught. And then we'll begin our trip towards the next medallion, because there is a little bit of work involved getting to there. But that will be for the next episode. So thank you very much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this. Take care, stay safe, and have a good day.